Traditionally, we labelled AMD as either wet or dry, and they're terms which are still frequently used today. I guess there's a real simplicity about using a binary term to describe a condition.
This is a really important thing to talk about, so I'm glad that you brought it up. And I don't think I've ever classified AMD as having only two forms, wet and dry. So wet and dry are the late forms of AMD, but AMD we know presents with drusen. So AMD is defined by the presence of drusen. And the Beckman classification, we all got together and did this Delphi consensus sort of exercise, was just to try and get the world to use a very simple classification so we all talk the same language. Unfortunately, a decade on, still not the case. But the point of the Beckman was to use just colour fundus photography or your own examination to be able to come up with a classification system. And it's based on the ARIDS population-based studies that show that there is early and intermediate and late AMD. They're the classifications. And the difference between early and intermediate is the size of the drusen, because the size of the drusen or the drusen volume, the amount of drusen material that you have, increases the risk of progression to late. So I would love for us all to call AMD based on the Beckman classification